Good day, ladies and gentlemen. And first thing I'd like to open up by saying is Happy New Year's. And if I have my timing right, this should be the first video this channel is uploaded of the new year, and it should be coming out on the 31st of January. But of course, at my current rate of recording capabilities, it might come out the 1st of February. So if that happens, it will just be as it is. Now, I would just like to state this. When I first made this YouTube channel series, I expected it to die out and fade, but I'm getting at least some level of views and people are leaving positive comments. So for moving forward, I will try and keep some level of consistency if I could, but I'm not a very, I wouldn't say committed person. It's just currently in my life right now, crazy things are happening, and spending at least 3 hours on a YouTube video. I know these videos take 3 hours to edit. That's how bad I am at it. But I would just like to say thank you for your support, and hopefully I'm actually able to put out some decent content this year. I did make a promise to myself that I would at least try and push out at least 12 videos this year, bare minimum. Hopefully they stay to the relative quality you guys have come to expect. And with that out of the way, we are back to me immediately getting my ass kicked by this damn poisonous witch with the extended barrel on her shotgun staff. And realistically, the hardest part about this is not the fact that, it shoots it because it's easy to dodge. No, the hardest part about it is instead of me with my strong Kratos god killer self, no, I have to rely on Boy whose arrows she can't perceive, yet for some reason she can't also perceive it when I draw my axe. So I don't know. I can't see the logic. Maybe Boy's arrows are faster, maybe they're enchanted. Either way, having to rely on Boy to stun her for me to do the actual damage, that's what gets me killed with her. Because when I go in to deal damage after Boy stuns her, she unstuns and then shotgun blasts me to the face. But after dealing with her, I have come up with a perfect strategy of just use my Spartan Rage on her. Every single time I'll see her, I will save my Spartan Rage specifically for her because that poison is annoying. And speaking of things that annoy me, this goddamn room. If you guys are about to get the reference I make about making a left at the crossroads, good on you. But if you don't, make sure to Google it. Now, this crossroads that I was at, I made a left and I grew to regret it. Because when I turned left, I came into this goddamn room instead of turning right, and now I will have to backtrack later in the game to find out what loot is left. I swear, something important's gonna be on the right side. But in any case, preventing me from climbing down this hill, even though it very much looks like an option because Kratos just climbed up here, I will never get the point of. But anyways, I am stuck in this room and now I am in an arena where I have to fight enemies. Which the first round of enemies was very easy. The second round, however, was not. Nor was the third round. The only good news that I can at least state is the fact that my loot goblin mode was able to activate momentarily because I was now in a room with a very nice looking chest that I was able to loot. As per what was in it, I got no clue. I think it's a movement and attack based ability that I might not have any use for, because according to it, I have to dash up and attack with it. Get a load this guy. Think I'm gonna run towards an opponent with my axe in hand. No, I'm running away from opponents half the time. I'm playing this game at a long range sniper distance because things can hurt me. Because again, this is God of War difficulty. And speak of the devil, something that can actually hurt me. Now, I would say this right off the bat. This single-handedly is more of a threat than any fire giant I've fought thus far. And I know the fire giants I've fought is probably the weakest bosses in the game because they're the starter bosses. But again, he is smaller, and the worst part is, you guys will see it in a minute, this guy got a goddamn flashbang because of the room he's in, and I hated it. I swear, it burned my retinas because every time this guy would do a specific downward slam move, it would flashbang the fuck out of me. And it is here we get into the first death montage of the year. That's right, not even 10 minutes into the video, and already a death montage. That is very sad to see. But realistically, I'd say I died in this room a grand total of over 30 times. I'm not even counting because I had to scrap a whole 30 to 40 minutes worth of me dying because it's not a matter of not me adapting. No, I can adapt. I realize that now. It's a matter of me getting jumped. They didn't give me the faith of a one-on-one. None of them. Every single time I thought I had an ounce of breathing room. No, there'll just be another one to shove his sword directly in between my spinal column or straight up my ass. And that's the most painful thing about this is I flourish in a one-on-one environment against a boss. If I'm getting jumped, no, I'm getting my teeth kicked in several ways till Sunday. I would first like to offer my sincere apologies to any of those of you who got traumatized and horrified by that quick little jump scare I put in the right background. For anyone who shares the same work ethic as a Discord or Reddit moderator, that could have possibly given you a heart attack, and I sincerely apologize. And for any of those who actually sustained ear damage from wearing headsets from that flashbang meme, I feel your pain deeply because it's still ringing in my ear. I was looking for a YouTube edit that I was inspired by Riley Reloaded on, but I was not able to find it, so I scrapped together that the best I could. But hopefully it sent a message across so you guys can feel a fraction of the pain I felt every time this goddamn troll would flashbang me with the snow. Anyways, every single time there will be a snow flashbang, I'll be putting up the job application just so you guys can feel a small fraction of the pain I felt playing this. Seriously, whoever decided it should have the flashbang feature, I will personally see you in hell. After struggling through this entire room, possibly spending well around 3 hours of my life. If I don't upload for a long period of time, it's because I have to take mental health breaks in between playing God of War. And yes, it's just like my friend said, but no, you should have played it on its regular version so you can appreciate the game. But I am appreciating the game still, it's just I can't play it all in one sitting because of the fact that the mental health breaks, because goddamn, there's only so much time a man can get his ass beat without feeling heavily demoralized and discouraged. Now, this was the second attempt at me finally eliminating all of the enemies in the room and now have the big guy all to myself. And this is where I say this. I love playing it on its hardest difficulty because when it's just me and the boss alone, I know I stand a chance to win. And I know this is not a boss, he doesn't have a health bar, but still, this man was a pain in my ass with those flashbangs. Seriously, everything else, the poison swords is one thing. The poison scorpions, another thing. The poison witches, there's a lot of poison in this game. Either way, I can deal with a lot. But you see a flashbang? That hurts the soul and it makes it personal. So when I tell you I defeated this room and I felt a wave of euphoria hit me, yes, I felt like I achieved something, when in reality I achieved nothing because I barely progressed in the game at all in this episode. Now, I'm not gonna deny it, when these backup joggers spawned, I panicked a little bit because one single group attack from them would have killed me, but I leaned in and killed them. And now, after the room is perfectly cleared, I walk forward and examine my loot. I don't know what frozen flame is or frost flame is, but I know it could be useful later down the road, and all I know is I like fire and I like freezing things. So hopefully it does both. But that's going to be me being very hopeful on it. Now, the next part of this video is going to be me trying to convey how I feel about the game currently at the stage I am at. Now, I know I am still very early into the game. That is very much clear to me because I know how big the actual God of War map is. But I find it's important to give your thoughts as you go along with the game. First impressions, midway through, then end of the game impressions. Because it truly gives you a unique perspective into the individual reviewing it. Now, this has never been to review the game because obviously my opinions and thoughts. This is my first ever real Soulsborne hardcore version of a game because I've never done a Soulsborne game this level of hard before. But I will try my best to convey it. And for those of you who are just here to see me suffer and do the challenge for combat, feel free to click off the video now because it will just be me talking. But remember, if you came here to see me suffer, at least leave a like. Now, watching the artistic view of how the game is designed, it's a very unique way because the entire point of Kratos and Boy going on this entire mission is to spread his mother's ashes so that Boy can continue on his path to growing up and becoming a full grown man. Kratos is helping Boy along the way because obviously that's his son, and the entire narrative and storytelling of it is beautiful so far. It's truly a game where a father and son grow together, whilst also fighting a whole bunch of monsters and demons along the way, And in my opinion, it's a beautiful narrative. And again, one thing I would like to convince all of you it is the Freya and Kratos narrative, aka The Witcher and Kratos. Because it's clear Kratos, ever since his original stint in the God of War franchise, he's clearly a man that's been haunted by his past and he needs companionship and he needs peace. Because he, from the start of God of War, as anyone who knows the lore can tell you, the sins of his family has quite literally been branded on him, and the man needs to find his own way of peace. And in that way, he found his peace and had a son, aka boy. But it's clear the man can't be on his own because otherwise he'll just be left with the sins of his past. In my opinion, Kratos needs somebody to constantly be next to him. Hence why we're gonna need a floating head in the future. Yeah, you guys know what I'm talking about. But main point is, Kratos is a character that cannot be left as lonesome, and I like how the game tries to encourage the fact that Kratos won't be on his own forever, and that Boy will have to be on his own for some parts. It's a very unique way to look at a very nice and caring father-son story. Honestly, my opinion of it is the entirety of God of War, not the God of War franchise, I mean the God of War for PlayStation, is it's entirely a father-son story where they grow throughout the years. For example, God of War Ragnarok, Boy is now a teenager, spoilers alert, and God of War Valhalla, Boy is definitely an adult. So when it comes down to it, God of War is a father son story, and you're supposed to grow with the characters. Now, I will say this unfortunately, I had the game for years, but I never decided to touch it. And as some of you in the audience might know, I am a D&D GM, and I wish I had played God of War when I was back in high school because I could have used the knowledge on how to be a strong and strict yet caring father because I could have copied some of the ideas for my D&D character. But in its own way, shape, and form, my character's fatherly instincts is comparable to Kratos. But I wish I had played the game first. That way, I would have a better understanding on how I wanted to do it. Because I bumbled and stumbled throughout my D&D journey on how my character was going to be a father and also be a strict and caring individual. Now, will we ever get the lore on that character? Hell no, because that is embarrassing. But let's get back to the story. I find how Kratos moves the entirety of the Nine Realms gate realistic to a degree because when I hear power scaling terms of Kratos moving the Nine Realms, he's not actually moving entire universes, he's moving a bridge that's connecting a portal to the Nine Realms, which is the very unique take on how the Nine Realms actually works, and honestly, it gives a very magical vibe that I'm a huge fan of. Now, while the beautiful scene is playing in the background, and I just checked the time, yep, this is definitely coming up on the 1st of February. God damn it, man. I already feel my New Year's commitment. I'm gonna say something extremely controversial. In my opinion, game storytelling at its peak possibly surpassed movie storytelling. I'll give my explanation for it as such. The reason for it is gaming always gives you a better feel for something than a movie would possibly give. The reason goes as such. When you play a video game, you inhabit the world the characters live in. It gives you the ability to turn around and view everything in a 360-degree angle. This is something I learned from years from playing with Destiny. It made me feel like I was actually a part of the world and made me feel like I was growing with it. Which is why I say, in my opinion, Destiny was never a game for me. It was always a movie franchise and a TV show. I was there from the very beginning. Well, not really from the very beginning, from Taken King. And I was there for the story. I watched everything. Even after I stopped playing with my brother, who was the original reason why I got into Destiny, I was there for the story. Movies cannot give you the feeling of you are in the world with them because you can only be watching a movie. So, in my opinion, games are better when it comes to getting you involved with a story. It makes you feel like you are there presently in the room. And that is the beauty of gaming. That is why my top games of all time will always and forever be Minecraft and Destiny. Now, I know some people will disagree with the Minecraft comment, but there's layers to this. Minecraft is a game I have an undying loyalty for. Nothing in this world could ever make me want to stop playing Minecraft, hate it, burn out, whatever. And that vibe you get from games, it's because Minecraft, you write your own story, which is how unique and beautiful it is. Every block you place is your own story. Now, this should go in a Minecraft video, so I'll save my preaching for Minecraft at a later date. God of War, I cannot wait to play more of it in the future because this story has me hyped up. I want to be able to play and feel the narrative of the world grow with me. So, just to loop it back to the beginning, gaming is the best way to tell a story, and that is the most factual statement I can say in this entire video, and I feel like most gamers would agree with me.
Welcome to Alfheim, gentlemen. Think you can spot the light? I can barely see it. Something's wrong. See that column of light on the horizon? It's housed in the heart of a ring temple. We'll find what we need there. No. Damn it, not yet.
What's happening?
To restore the Bifrost magic, you must step into the light. But be very careful not to get your...
Now that little scene that I just played for you guys to witness is exactly how I want you guys to see how gaming is. Imagine if we could have pressed a series of buttons to save the witch. That would have changed the entire plot going forward. Gaming, as my true opinion is the best way to tell a story. And I cannot wait to see what God of War has in store for me in the future, because after struggling with the bosses, it'll feel like a reward to get drawn into the lore story of the world. Now I'd like to thank you all for watching, and may you all have a good day, and hopefully the next video comes out in decent time.